Welcome in, everyone, to the Bama Standard. It's Tuesday night. You know what to do. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Live chat. Let's get things wild. If you're watching the replay, get in the comment section. Show us some love there. As always, we're brought to you by Workspace Solutions. If your business needs a digital presence or a full-fledged marketing team, these are the guys to reach out to. Hit them up at workspacepros.com. I'm your host, Justin Riley. With me, as always, is the undefeated, undisputed king of comedy and the star of the show, Steve Brown.
Y'all read that, right? That's what it says. The company finally gave me a caption. You see that, right? The company did that. Company. Not me, the company.
Boy, they going too far with this Make-A-Wish crap now.
And the person who's jealous right next to him is a 1999 All-SEC linebacker. And when Ric Flair said, to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man, he is that man, Marvin Constant.
Hey, listen, I just want y'all all to know I'm drinking this crap so that I can halfway talk to y'all because I've been sick and unable to talk. So I'm going to drink all this crap just so my voice will work because I got some points I need to deliver today, baby. I got
Ladies and gentlemen, Marvin has Ebola, but we're gonna keep him.
Oh man,
I'm just glad you have on a proper shirt today, sir.
Yeah,
Pat McAfee Jr. over there. My God.
Okay. Well, the guy next to him is a two-time USFL champion, two-time national champion, and the baddest man to ever tote the rock, Bo Scarborough.
What's up?
And then last but not least, the international sex symbol, senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, Stephen M. Smith.
What's happening, fellas? Tuesday.
Sex symbol.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, just saying.
Wow. What country is Stephen M. Smith going to represent in the sex symbol Olympics?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Stephen OnlyFans Smith.
Well, actually, it's funny you say that. Stephen M. Smith has an OnlyFans. It's called Optical Obsession. Promo code Bent Frames 69.
Okay. All right.
Well, hey, Stephen, it's time for you to be the perfect MC that you are. We got a guest in the building. You would introduce him properly.
Okay, so we got none other than the only air traffic controller. And this air traffic controller came straight from the boot. We talking Louisiana. This is an air traffic controller that does have some national championships. He got one in, he's got national championships in 2020. Got SEC championships as well. A guy that can play some receiver, some wildcat quarterback, some punt return, some kick return. Dude got in the NFL too. I mean, let's just bring on the guy that's flying my actual plane right now. Slade Bolden in here. I played in here.
I love it. I appreciate the introduction. I mean, what a hell of an introduction. As always, make me sound a lot better than I am. I do appreciate it. As always, I love being on the show. So thank you, Steve.
Hey, we happy to have you, man. And it's always good to see a white Bama player doing well. You can tell when a white Bama player doing well when they go out and get a Jerry curl. I see.
Hey, now this is all natural, baby. Let me tell you.
I let it lie to you, Steve. You're at the black barber shop.
Yeah, you had one too.
I ain't had a white guy cut my hair since I was 10 years old.
Hey, Steve, Santés used to cut Slade hair in college.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, man. You used to be over there at the black barber shop, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I still go to the same guy every time.
Hey, Slade, before we go any further, go ahead and say whatever you want to say to Marvin because he's going to pass out in like 10 minutes. So go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Well, Marvin, I hope you get the feeling, brother. Feeling better, brother. I mean, I appreciate you even getting on the show to begin with. We know that
we don't.
We do appreciate it.
We don't.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
I don't know if we have a strong enough firewall to block whatever viral infection he's going to be passing through these streams here. So Steve's going to be on spray duty for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Slade, before we jump into everything, for the folks in the audience who need to get caught up, catch everybody up. What's going on with you, man? You've had quite an eventful year so far. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, eventful is a good word. Not and Bo can attest to this, Marvin can attest to this. Like it's a part of it. The business, it's the NFL is a crazy business. I mean, it's tough to get in, and then it's even tougher to stay. I was fortunate to get another opportunity to play for Atlanta. After my injury in Baltimore, going on IR, and then trying to get some workouts after they released me off IR, trying to get some workouts, trying to get re-signed, and obviously my career hasn't gone the way I've hoped and planned, but that's how it goes. That's how football is. That's what I signed up for. And, I was blessed to get another opportunity in Atlanta, and I thought I did really well. I thought I had a great training camp, and I thought that everything was going good, just like it was in Baltimore. And we get to the preseason games, and I'm not in the business of making excuses, but I just felt like I didn't get many opportunities. Whether I'm getting open, but I'm not getting the ball. And if you ever watch Atlanta Falcons offense, it's not a very heavy pass team. Like to run the ball, like to use the tight ends. So like hindsight 2020 is probably not the best offense for a guy like me, but I was still just hoping to keep a job at the end of the day, and I think that is my issue, because I think the hardest part about getting cut and dealing with that circumstances is like if I knew that I wasn't good enough, and especially if in Baltimore, if I'd have went, all right, I'm not getting open, or like these guys, they got me, like it's time to move on, then I would. But the fact that I feel like I know I can play in this league and I've shown it, just maybe haven't shown it enough in games, and it's here and there. There's only one ball that can only find one person, so I can't complain about it. But I feel like my situation right now, I just need to get some film and just to show everyone, all 32 teams at this point, that I can still play. And but I'm healthy, I'm feeling good, I'm staying in shape, and I'm still in Atlanta training, and just hoping that the Lord bless me with an opportunity, and I know He will, because you always have that feeling.
You come work out with me whenever you want to.
I appreciate it. I know.
We always got a contract for you if you ever want one. We always got.
Well, hey, now you said that, Bo. I mean, if it boils down to it, if I don't get picked up, I mean that is something that I'm thinking about, like very considerabely, because at this point, like I just gotta get some film,
Yeah.
It helped Victor Bolden out, and he went to the Arizona Cardinals, and he stayed there for a good little minute.
The one guy, the punt returner who's with the Cowboys, he played
Turpin.
Turpin from my city.
We have a few guys that's on, that came in late, that stuck there, that's on practice squad. Alex Magoo, quarterback up there, Green Bay. Yeah, so we
know what, man?
For you.
And it's another opportunity to play the game that I love. At the end of the day,
I got a question for y'all real quick.
Pete Golden in the chat line.
Hold on. I got a question for y'all real quick. So the new rankings are out. Georgia's 1, Michigan is 2, Washington moves up to 3, Florida State moves up to 4, Oregon goes to 5, and Ohio State goes to 6, with Texas still behind at 7 and us still at 8.
Wow.
What?
It don't make sense.
Okay, you know what? Back to Slade, I was going to say something, man. They were telling me about the football thing. But what it all boils down to with me, man, we got to remember that things is all about politics now, for one. Number two, there's nothing like being persistent and consistent. As long as you continue to be persistent and consistent, no matter how things look, trust me, you're going to get what you're looking for. So try not to get discouraged, because trust me, in this comedy thing, it's just like any other business, man, football, all that. Sometimes it's about who you know, it's not who you're looking at. So, get that film, man, and continue to stay encouraged, be persistent and consistent. Trust me when I tell you, it's going to happen.
I believe you, and I agree, and I appreciate it, Mr. Steve. Yeah. I just, it's you're right. It is a little bit of that. You ain't lying. And I will say this, though. At the end of the day, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. For me to be able to say that I can play the game again is a blessing in itself, because I wasn't even supposed to be here.
And you will.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's one thing is I got to stay disciplined and continue to work. And, as much as I felt like I balled out with the Falcons, and I know Art Smith really liked me, it's just, it sometimes it boils down to something else. So, but I'm so blessed.
You know something, no, man? I'm saying this to you, man, and I believe it's going to happen with you, because I said the same thing to Marvin. Look at him. He got cut. But it's okay. Marvin is not you. So keep doing what you and now we stuck with his ass right here, and he's sick. See,
now he's sick.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. As a matter of fact, let's do something for Marvin. All right, keep the go show on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, it's Slade. I agree. Keep on pushing. I think that God designs for us all a personal midnight to go through, storms to teach us something, to grow us. And then one day that storm will subside and joy comes in the morning. That morning is coming soon for you, brother. So keep on doing what you're doing. We're proud of you. Well, we realize we only have you for a short amount of time, so we're going to get right to it. Let's go ahead. Immediate reactions. Iron Bowl, guys. I know we have a lot to say before we get to the SEC Championship preview. Slade, since you're the guest, man, let's start out with you. I know what you're seeing or what you saw Saturday and then what's kind of coming in the future, all too familiar. It's like the script is rewriting itself. Go ahead, start us out, man. Your immediate reactions from Saturday.
Well, I mean, once, I was telling y'all two, Steve and Justin, earlier before we got on the live, that I was driving. I was driving home or driving from home to Atlanta. So I had, obviously I had the game playing on my phone, and I hadn't ate all day, so I was already on edge. And then them first 3 quarters, I was just like, man, I've seen this game. I've seen how this plays out in 2019. Bo, Marvin, you know how it goes. But for me, it's 2019, Bo Nix, some fluke passes, missed field goal here, and it's like, Mac throws the back of Najee's back plate, and we don't have any guy that can track down the linebacker that run pick 6. Like, just stuff that shouldn't happen in games is happening in 2021. We're 9-1. They're 6-5. Okay, we should easily handle these boys. Boom, 4 overtimes. And it's like I'm watching the first 3 quarters. I'm just like, man, this is going to come down to something miraculous happening, whether it's for us or against us. And it's going to come down to the last seconds of the game. And truth be told, it did. And I was just driving, trying to, make sure I wasn't going to miss an exit or what I had to take. There's traffic. And I'm just I saw that play and I almost read. I swear to God, I almost read. I was like, it was too much. I was already anxious enough. And but thank God we pulled it off, man. Cause I don't know how I'd have made that drive home anymore. I might have just went in and just killed. Right. But man, that was crazy. It was what a strike by Milroe, and what a play by Bond, just stay in bounds and just make something happen. Because that's at the end of the day, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah, no doubt. Bo, you kind of had a premonition of what was to come. Had you been calling Vegas before it all happened, you'd probably be a very rich man right now. Man, tell the folks exactly how it went down, sir, because it's pretty crazy how it all played out. You're on mute, sir.
I know we only got 30 seconds, but I was sitting there watching the game with my boy Chris Covington and Antoine Woods, and after we caught that ball on the sideline and they were reviewing it, and I was telling them, I was like, watch they don't give us this play, and it's plain as day that you can see that he caught the ball inside, and I said, watch, some fluke gonna happen for us, and then it's gonna come down to the end of the game. And someone going to be clapping and the ball going to get rolled back 30 yards and they're going to be 4th and 30. I didn't say 31. I just said 4th and 30. And we're going to throw it up and some fluke going to happen and we're going to win the game. And that's exactly what happened. As I was getting ready to get my stuff and leave, I was like, wow, it's 4th and 30. I said this at the beginning, not even thinking that I said, and I turned around. I just see Isaiah Bun go up and get it. And me, I down there came out my T-shirt.
I'm just say this, that throw at that moment, it took me back to spring ball when that video had surfaced on Alabama's Twitter where a quarterback threw the ball to Ja'Cory Brooks in that exact same corner of the end zone. And all the fans was like, who made that throw? It couldn't have been Milroe. It had to be Ty Simpson. Who made that throw? And we all found out, but it was Jalen Milroe. It was the exact same throw to the exact same corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Perfect throw.
Marvin, this is your turn. Now, it's funny. Your guest last week, Jason McCadley, kind of predicted this. It was going to be more comfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. We weren't going to be happy how close it was going to be. Then Bo throws in, oh, by the way, fluke things always happen in this game. So the combined evil forces of their predictions end up being true, but the good guys won in the end. Give us your immediate thoughts, sir.
I had to hit my juice because I need this to be very clear. Okay. Listen, I know I predicted a blowout. Bad prediction. Okay, didn't happen. All right, but here's the reality of what happened. This is a team that found a way to win. When it counted the most, they showed up. And Steve Brown, every time your ass was locked up in jail, who'd you call to get you out? A bail bondsman. Who did Jalen call? Isaiah. Bail bondsman. That was one catch in the corner of the end zone. I couldn't even talk because my voice was already gone because I was sick. So I was over there. I had so much I wanted to get out, but I couldn't get it out. Listen, man. That play will go down as one of the most epic catches in the history of Alabama football. A lot of people don't understand the technical aspects of what it took to make that play happen. Not only did he catch the ball inbounds, but to stay inbounds, I mean, had that ball been 6 inches to the left, it would have been incomplete pass. The level of precision from Jalen to him, you could not draw that up and actually think it would work.
But then also the presence of Isaiah Bond to get separation off the DB with the ref not even looking, right? Because they both are jockeying for position, but the presence of Isaiah Bond to get that last little piece of separation and then locate the ball.
But you know what? You know what it is, though, Stephen Smith. A lot of people don't understand this. As a defensive player, when that receiver is making that move to the inside, you're trying to track with that receiver, but at the same time, you're looking back at the quarterback. So a good receiver, he'll know how to leverage you to get you to move just enough inside to then break back to the boundary, and he did it perfectly. Because as a defender, you're looking and you're looking back. All you need is 1 millisecond to look back, and if that receiver knows what he's doing, he's going to get that separation. Job well damn done. I got nothing else, fellas. Job well damn done.
Now clean your mic off before we all get sick.
You always got something to say.
Well, it's funny. Steve actually does something to say, which is a perfect segue into our favorite segment, No Laughing Matter.
Hey, listen, man. This segment goes to the Alabama fans. Listen, we have to stop publicly bashing our players. We started out with Milroe even before the season, and we continuously do it, which doesn't make sense, man. Nobody would have thought that we would have gotten this far, especially with the Texas game when we didn't look so good. I purposely put up a post about Seth McLaughlin. Everybody was going crazy about the bad snap or whatever. Come to find out, it wasn't a bad snap. It was Auburn's players clapping, and he heard it, and he confused it with Jalen Milroe, and he snapped the ball. The referee saw it, didn't call it, and it was just one of those things, man. Now our fans went crazy on the kid, and the thing is, if you look at when they got everything perfectly done with the offensive line, let's admit they've been playing a whole lot better, less sack, and he's been snapping the ball perfectly. And that's been happening just a string of games. So why would he wait until the Auburn game and snap the ball? So clearly the video's up for everybody to see on a lot of different Bama fan pages or whatever, that the Auburn player did go and in fact clap, and it confused Seth, but for some reason the ref didn't call it. So guys, let's just continue to push for the players, keep it positive, and expect positive results. And that's all I have to say.
Wow.
Thanks, I've been a part of that negativity before.
Yeah. Our fans will turn on us in a minute, and we got to work on that. Keep that positivity going.
Without doubt. Well, Slade, I know that your time is coming to a close, but before you jump out, if you would, man, kind of talk to us about your experience with Georgia. You kind of went into a similar experience. We had no chance back in 2021. We shouldn't even bother showing up. We were going to get boat race. Matter of fact, I forgot the guy's name.
Danny Cannell, I think.
Danny Cannell said that Alabama, quote, will get boat raced by Georgia this weekend. He's putting all his chips on Georgia. Man, talk to us about this. And again, we talked earlier. the script is writing itself again. What do you expect Saturday?
Well, what I expect is we got to get that lick back. That's what I expect. You know, we came in last 2021, beat them, played our game, and then, you know, we take away the injury. We should have beat them again. And I feel like there's still some guys on this team that have that taste still in their mouths that kept us from winning back-to-back national championships. So I just know that the mindset and the mentality this week is Saban's going to have them boys right. He's going to have all the guys, the leaders on that team are going to have everybody right. Practice better be good. It better be, you know, executing the game plan to the best of our ability. And I know that we're going to get in there and we're going to take care of business. I mean, I do believe UGA's got a good team. Like, I'm not saying they don't, but we got a really good team too. And if we play our game and we go out there and we show up and we execute and we play the game that we know we can play, we're going to handle them dogs with ease. And I just hope when we do beat them, they don't keep them in the top 4 because I don't want to play them twice again because I did not like doing that last time.
Right.
Well, you know, it looks like they're positioning Ohio State in a position where no matter what happens, they could potentially sneak that second Big Ten team in. That's why I was a little bit, like they got Ohio State at 6. Logic would say move them to 7, not 6, but they're positioning them to potentially get 2 in.
Hey, man, that to me, I made a post today, man. It's like, look, college football committee, if y'all don't like Bama, just say so, because they're showing us all, they're showing the world, they just do not like Bama, no matter how good we play, they don't like Bama for some reason. I don't know if they're afraid that Saban's going to get another championship. I don't know what it is, but they don't like Bama.
Steve, if the same dude kept taking you and your homies food every day, y'all wouldn't like it much either.
Yeah, that happened to me in special ed a lot when I was in high school.
we got to put Georgia back to being a little brother again. That's what we got to do.
Slade, I want you to answer one more thing. We talked about being doubted and criticized, and you said you are very familiar with that. No one has been experiencing more criticism the entire season than Jalen Milroe. At one point, everybody thought he was going to be a liability. There's no way Alabama wins more than 7 games if Jalen Milroe's calling the plays. Well, that proved to be wrong. He went from liability to hero. Daniel Moore is getting that canvas ready. What edge do you see with Jalen Milroe going into this game against Georgia?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That boy's got some faith. He's a strong believer. I know that helps. And he works harder than anyone I've met. You know, I know a lot of guys that work hard, and he's up there with them. And he has that chip. You know, he understands that people doubt him. And the thing with Milroe is, like, he's going to go out there and do what he can do. Whatever, like his game, and that's what I said when we went to play LSU. Is like if he plays his game, you know, that's going through his progressions. If it's not there, take off. Make plays with your feet. Just have fun. At the end of the day, have fun. And if he does that, I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in college football right now. But I just think, like, as long as he has fun out there, trusting his teammates, you know, his receivers are going to get open, O-line's going to block, and they're going to make the right progressions, you know, the right calls and adjustments to the Georgia defense. If he goes out there and has fun and plays around, throws the ball backwards, sideways, however he does it, it's going to be a fun time to watch him. So I think if he plays this game, we're going to be just all right.
Sounds good, man. Hey, we greatly appreciate you being on with us. Even though it was a short visit, we definitely would love to have you back. So, but we appreciate every moment you give us, brother. Keep us updated with what's going on. Know that the whole team here in Bama Nation is behind you.
Hold on real quick, though. I invited you to dinner. You still hadn't accepted my invite.
Okay, Slade.
When you invited me, it was during training camp. It may be before training camp. And then you know how busy we get. And then, Mara, I ain't gonna lie to you. That first month after getting cut, man, I didn't want to talk to nobody.
I was Slade. Listen,
but we'll get together for real. I'll meet you back. I promise.
Okay, before you go, Slade, come into the camera a little bit, just a little bit. Come in. There we go. Because you've been in here with a sick guy. We don't want you to have no excuse of getting cut.
Get on.
You're probably gonna go to dinner with Marvin, so get some of that too.
Wait at least a week or 2.
Thank you for coming. There you go, man.
Yes, sir, brother.
Roll
We appreciate it.
Roll Tide, brother.
God bless you.
Slade.
Marvin mess around and get that man sick. He won't have no.
You are such a hater. I
that man.
swear you are a hater. Boy,
Man, hey, it's talk about Georgia. Well, before we do that, listen, we got some people who've been throwing some money our way. First and foremost, we got Don Parker, $2. That catch made the barn cry, roll tide. And then right after him, we got Jamal Jones, $1.99. Then we got Wookie Gremlin, $5. You guys are great. What makes an Alabama player at its core? Hey, we are the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. All right, Marvin, it's time for you to do your thing. I know people have been dying to see constant chaos. If you could drink some more of that juice while this beautiful intro plays, man, we are ready to hear what you got to say.
listen, I'm going to tell you one thing that we absolutely can't happen. If this happens, we have no chance in this game. Watching this game this past Saturday, Auburn offensive line continually dominated our defensive line. They reestablished that line of scrimmage 2-3 yards down the field almost every play. They barely passed the ball. We knew what was coming, but the fact that we let them play big boy football and hand us our ass and continually let us, reestablish the line of scrimmage on us, that can't happen, because with a team like Georgia with a more physical offensive line, we know they want to run the ball first, set up the play action pass, set up the tunnel screen to Brock Bowers. We know what they want to do. And if we can't stop the run and we let them continually reestablish that line of scrimmage and go out in 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, it's going to be a long damn game. We have to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Man up, let your nuts drop, do what you born to damn do, and that's kick ass, not have people push you around the damn field like we Ole Miss, like we Auburn, like we the school for the blind. This is Alabama football, so I need y'all to show up and play like y'all play Alabama football. They completely whooped our asses on the line of scrimmage. Auburn did, hands down.
Hey, Marvin, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
I'd like you to piggyback off of this. You talked about this next subject I'm going to bring up a few weeks ago, made a nice clip of it. Fans are in the chat. We got more fans right now than we did a few weeks ago when you mentioned it. They all want to know, how do we stop or limit both Brock Bowers and Lad McConkey? But let's not just get focused on those two. They also have a nice little tight end called Delp. He's a dude too. So what is the formula to, I don't know if we can stop them, but more so limit them in this game?
Well, number one, again, reestablishing that line of scrimmage on our side, making sure that it's 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 10. That takes away a lot of the offensive coordinators' play calling abilities. Number two, stay the hell out of cover 2. We know that Georgia likes to run that tunnel screen with Brock Bowers. If you're in cover 2 with those safeties flaring out, the middle of the field is wide open. If we run a lot of cover 2, we are going to screw ourselves. So, it's going to take playing a little bit of a 2-man bracket concept on Brock Bowers, and I would play zone to the field or zone to the boundary, and I would take away the middle of the field, because we know that's what Georgia wants to do. They want to run that tunnel screen to Brock Bowers. You got to take that away. But again, that starts with reestablishing that line of scrimmage, not letting the offensive coordinator have the ability to call whatever he wants in 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5. Right. That's where it starts and stops.
Hey, Marvin, something? I was listening to you when you said that they dominated the line of scrimmage, and I agree with you. But you got to understand, guys, that's a Hugh Freeze offense, and they run a lot of misdirection and all that, and it's a complicated offense, man. It is. I mean, it was no excuse to be pushed around, but that's a complicated offense.
No matter how complicated it is, I ain't finna let no grown man drive me back 2-3 yards. No, we playing on your side of the line, not my side. We playing on your damn side. Don't get comfortable on my side. No, see, that's what we're not going to do. Right. No. Now, and again, I led the number 2 rush defense in the country at Alabama. You ain't going to run the damn ball. I don't care who you had back there. You can cancel that. You're going to have to come with a different game plan. Take away that first and foremost. Cut off the head, and the dragon will die.
There it is.
I agree, though, Steve. You bring up a very good point. Yes, physically we were pushed around, but the other side of it was what Hugh Freeze brought to the table. we weren't fundamentally sound in a lot of the games. A lot of times we weren't in the right places. There were blown coverages, things that just weren't typical of Alabama here as of late. We saw at the beginning of the year, but it looked like we fixed it all. But everything kind of resurfaced against Hugh Freeze. He made life complicated. That's just what he does. But I say if you're going to have a bad game, let it be last week and not this week. So maybe we got it out of our system.
But hold on, Justin. So, but here's the thing about it, though. Even if you're running a team that runs a lot of misdirection, what do they teach defensive linemen, outside linebackers, even inside linebackers, depending upon where you line up on the line of scrimmage? If the guy in front of you is pulling, get in his damn hip pocket because he's going to take you to the damn ball.
Right.
What's hard about that?
Well, let me ask y'all this. It seems like to me that Kevin Steele, the first half, he lets the offense do what they want to do. And then he adjusts, and then he tries to shut everything down. I feel like with Georgia, you need to go and start shutting that shit down when the whistle blows. As soon as they get on the field, shut it down. Listen, we ain't got time to be trying to adjust at halftime. Listen, let's adjust to kick their butts even more at halftime. But we need to go and jump on top of them right away.
Here's the reality. Whoever we have on that defensive line that they've been claiming is a two-gapper, which means they can hold up that A and that B at the same time. They need to be two-gapping their ass off this week because if you got a true two-gapper, that prevents a lot of these guards and tackles from being able to pull because they got to now stay in to help with this two-gapper who commands that. So I need whoever that person is, I need you to damn command the damn two-gap this week, okay? I need you to dig in your pockets, look in your backpack, wherever you need to find your courage at. I need you to go find it and be the damn two-gapper you supposed to damn be.
It's all about playing an angry, grown man ball up front, Marvin. I agree. If you go back and watch the Missouri film, Missouri was just working that offensive line the entire game. That offensive line was very erratic. They were just they were pissing down their leg, and so was their quarterback at home. So
but that's why I say we got to reestablish that line of scrimmage. We better be playing on their side of the line of scrimmage all damn night. Make their asses earn it. Don't give them nothing. Whatever they get, you better make sure they earned it. Because again, you can't go out in 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. Because again, offensive coordinator, no, I still got 3rd down. I can call whatever I want to get in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 to potentially go for it on 4th down. You got to keep them out of 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6.
Before I give it to Stephen M. Smith, and we all want to hear what this man has to say, we got some super chats to get to. Thank you to our Bama Standard groupies. Ask Bama Girl 26, $50. Let's go, Bama. Beat Georgia.
Put your clothes back on, and you about to start saying something.
Ray Parham, $5. I think they should play some cover 3 and bring Caleb up to bracket Bowers over the top and have your Mike or Will linebacker shadow him underneath. I think that Caleb Downs is going to want to have a little get back after he was snubbed by the voters here for the Thorpe Award.
That's awesome.
Marvin, you care to talk on this? Does that sound feasible?
I mean, it's with cover 3, and you're trying to run a 2-man bracket in cover 3. It's a little bit more difficult opposed to if you ran it into the field, into the boundary, then everybody else knows what they're doing. You're running it out of cover 3. Those 2 safeties are swapping off depending upon what the strength is. So it can get a little bit more complicated. Me personally, whatever side Brock Bowers lined up to, that's what I run the bracket to that side, and I would run the damn zone to the field. Away, if he's in the boundary, I'd run the zone to the field with the 2-man bracket, and vice versa if it were the other way. Just not to overly complicate things for the defense because it's happening so fast. You don't want them to think. Give them the most simple read possible. Read, react, go destroy.
One more. Stephen, for some reason, they don't want you to talk. They just keep throwing money our way. Kelly Weathersby, $9.99. Thank you, fellas, for another good show. Yes, Justin, it's me. Roll Tide, everyone.
Wait a minute, Justin. What you got going on?
Hey. You don't need to worry about what I'm doing.
Justin, the only fan who watches his OnlyFans.
Yeah, and she was a pretty blonde haired chick too. I saw her. Justin, you got your bottoms on over there. What you got going on?
Steve, this is a free flowing podcast. Anyway,
I got you, brother.
Stephen M. Smith, we have not heard from you yet. Quick, before someone throws some more money in our way, talk to us, man. You've heard a little bit what these guys had to say. What are you seeing? Talk to us, man.
So going back to Marvin's point about the two gap of defensive linemen, Bama's got two of them, and they both need to bring their lunch pail. They got two of them. Number one's Tim Keenan. Tim Keenan's a true two gapper. He got to bring it because he did get abused against Auburn. They did push him off the football. Tim Keenan's got to bring it against Georgia. It's him, and it's also Damon Payne. Both of those two can do it. So both of those two have to be on it this week against Georgia. Now, happily enough, Justin the boy got involved. He did have a sack in the game, and you want to see more from him. But Keenan and Payne are those two dudes. They're going to have the two gap. They're going to have to take it on. They're going to have to take it on. They're going to have to make plays against the run absolutely all game. Another thing, our corners, primarily Kool-Aid McKinstry, when you're running the football, fit your gap. There were several times against Auburn, Kool-Aid's late, jogging into the run fit, and they go right by him every time. Kool-Aid's got to fit his gap on the edge because he was late, and Jarquez Hunter got by him every single time on the all-22 cam. So Kool-Aid, get in the gap.
Now, Stephen, to your point, though, the thing about it, though, when I was referencing that two-gapper, why is that so important? Because, again, if that guy can maintain, what does that do? That allows Georgia to now have to do what? Keep an extra blocker in, which takes a person out of the route. So now we can effectively run this two-man bracket on Bowers, and that's one less receiver we got to worry about. It's a domino effect when you get that pressure from the inside out on that D-line. That's what we have to do. Make them keep somebody else in to block. Because, again, if not, Dallas Turner's going to feast. So it's a true domino. And then when you look at Brock Bowers, somebody said put Arnold on him. If you ever watch Brock Bowers run a route, he does something that a lot of receivers that are great running routes does. He'll lean on that defender to get that little bit of separation without actually touching him to cause that pass interference. He'll get that slight little lean to push, and he'll break that route off. So you're going to need a bigger body on Bowers because otherwise he's going to abuse whoever we put on him.
Like Malachi Moore. Malachi Moore is more physical.
You're going to have to put a bigger body on him because Brock, he loves to lean on that defender to create that separation when he's ready to break off his route.
Now I think the perfect guy for Terrion, I would have Terrion against McConkey though. McConkey kind of gives you a little bit of maybe Hunter Renfrow type vibe there, but I think Terrion's physical enough to get McConkey off his spot. So if I was putting somebody for Terrion, that'd be McConkey. I wouldn't trust Kool-Aid on McConkey, but I would trust Terrion there.
I agree with you.
Before we get to this next super chat, because it's actually going to lead us to our next discussion, Bo's got to talk. Guys, y'all been running your mouth all day. It's time for Bo to let loose here. Bo, what you got? What are you seeing, man, in this Georgia team?
I mean, Georgia just haven't seen an explosive offense yet. Like, I think that the eastern side of the conference is not as good on offense as it is on the western side. So I think that they defense haven't really seen an explosive offense that can do both, which Missouri did have. Their quarterback just put them in a situation to lose the game. They throw an interception to the defensive line, and then towards the end of the game, he threw the ball in triple coverage, which I don't know who he was throwing the ball to. And I think that if their quarterback would have made smart decision, that they would have won the game because they was up on Georgia, and Georgia came back and scored and off of 3 points. They got 3 points. They didn't even get 6 points off of that inside the 5 play that they had.
Yeah, true.
So I think that with a team like us, someone that is balanced, a team that is balanced, and a team that can play physical up front and in the back on our team, I think that we can come in and really run Georgia because as I think that Kirby Smart is looking at it as weak as right now, and I think that we're going to surprise them. I think that we're going to come out on fire than everyone think that we are because one thing about it, I don't think you can beat Coach Saban twice.
Ooh, my God.
I'm also say this, and I know I'm gonna get into a little bit more of this in the depth chart segment, but guys, keep your eyes, especially if he's not 100% this week. Keep your eyes on Justice Haynes because we did see Jace walk off with crutches after the Iron Bowl. Saban did say he's day-to-day. We'll see how Jace looks. But if Jace is not full go, keep your eyes on the 1-2 punch of Jim and Roydale, and then Justice gets in there, and just like Najee Harris against Georgia a few years back, Justice is going to get in there against Georgia. He going to turn some stuff up.
Hey, man.
I know what day-to-day means.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. I think you hit the nail dead on the head, Stephen. I think that we might get a classic Justice Haynes, what you call a welcome party.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean by that. We're gonna hit them with something they
hadn't seen,
even prepared for. They're just like when Coach Saban gave me the hot hand. Clemson didn't have an answer. LSU didn't have an answer.
No.
You know, it was just a surprise, and I think that that's what's gonna happen right now because they don't know who to prepare for in this moment. And they're going to be someone, they're going to be hitting them in the mouth every single play. Chunk yard, chunk yard, chunk yard. And in the air we go.
I agree. Listen, I was watching something, the Missouri game. We could keep going back to that. Georgia saw something they hadn't seen before. They went up against a running back that was a grown man, ran angry, and popped them in the mouth and kept popping them. They're not used to that. And that controls the line of scrimmage the majority of the day. Listen, Cody Schrader, 22 carries, 112 yards, 5.1 yards per carry. They were able to rush for 151 yards against that vaunted Georgia front seven. There's a weakness there, guys, which leads me to our next topic. And Don Parker's giving us $5 to talk about it. Weaknesses, finding Georgia's weaknesses. And Marvin's going to get to it if he
he's having a seizure.
Yeah, somebody called, I don't know. Don Parker, $5. One glaring weakness of Georgia's defense is the ability of their linebackers to cover. I can see Bama using the backs and tight ends this week. Thoughts? Marvin, start us out. Answer Don's question. And where do you see the glaring weaknesses? Then we'll move to Steve Brown, up to Steve, and then to Bo.
You know, with Georgia's defense, the one thing I did see Missouri do is they reestablished that line of scrimmage. The same thing I was saying that Auburn did to us. Now, to your point about Schrader was a walk-on at Missouri. So you're telling me a walk-on ran on their asses for 100+. So these damn 5 stars we got in this stable, y'all better go saddle your horses, do whatever the hell you got to damn do. Because if you let a walk-on run for 100 and some yards on Georgia's ass and you don't do the same, I'm coming to your house, knocking on your damn door, asking you, are you really built for Bama? Because, again, this ain't for everybody. I get it. Somebody got to go to the smaller schools. Somebody, somebody got to pay for UAB. Somebody got to pay for North Alabama, Troy. Everybody ain't meant to play at Alabama. But when your ass put this on and you cross that line, you better go man up. And I'll say this, Brock Bowers, if you seen him against Missouri, he didn't play much. He's favoring that ankle. So knowing that he's favoring his ankle, what do most coaches like to do with a guy who's hurt a receiver? They'll run out into the boundary and other, stuff like that to keep him out of the middle of the field, because the middle of the field is where the piles are, and that's where most of your injuries occur. So if Brock's in there, expect it to go to the damn boundary. Occasionally it might be in the middle of the field. I guarantee you those coaches are going to try to keep him out of harm's way, knowing his ankle's still hurt.
Yeah, but if he can't go in the middle of the field, like I said earlier, Delp can be that guy too. He's 2.0 Brock Bowers. Steve, go ahead, brother.
Hey, man, I expect to see a lot of quarterback runs. Because people are they're thinking that Milroe is going to try to drop back and pass a lot. But I think that, what game was it when he really just started running? It was probably the game before the Auburn game, I think.
LSU.
I think you're going to see that version. And I really think that the reason he wasn't doing it against Auburn because they were saving it for Georgia. I just believe that. So I think that the defense is going to be stout, and I think that people are going to be really surprised at the outcome of this game.
And they actually have a hard time with quarterback design runs, Steve. I saw that in a few games this year. They're not so disciplined as they are led to believe defensively. Matter of fact, Peyton Thorne, the guy we just had troubles with, had 92 yards against Georgia.
Oh, yeah, and let me say this too, man. Every DB who has hit Jalen Milroe head on had to be carted out of the game. every DB who has hit Jalen Milroe head up they had to call an injury timeout. Nobody wants to hit this kid, man. Nobody really wants to. Not a DB.
But you know what, Steve? If that's truly going to be the game plan, if they're going to do that, I hope that they do it out of a lot of 4 and 5 wides. Why? Mm-hmm. Because that means Georgia will have a limited, that front for Georgia. It'll have to be more of a pass front, more of their speed rushers, not designed to stop the run. And then you start going fast on that group and they can't sub out, then you can run it down their throat. But again, that starts with 4 and 5 wides, spreading the field so that Milroe then has that middle of the field when he's ready to take off. Because again, Georgia likes to play man coverage just like Alabama. And when those receivers are running, those DBs backs are turned, take it. You saw Jalen Hurts do it for Philadelphia the other night in the game. When those DBs are running, man, you better take it and go run.
Oh man, one quick thing too. I gotta say this, and guys, we should have said this earlier. I gotta send a special shout out to Kate Proctor. He's been doing his thing, man.
Thank you.
He's been doing his thing. He's been doing this. His boy's coming into his own.
I'll say this: the whole left side of the line's coming, not just Proctor, Jaden Roberts too. Yeah. Both of those two guys together have been playing outstanding ball. Now, in terms of running back, Jalen Miller could have a really, and I'm saying jam in terms of an all-around game, catching the ball at the backfield, running between the tackles and the outside. But Jalen Miller is probably one of the more underrated pass blockers on this team, the way he can pick up a blitz as well. So I would keep my eye on him. But at wide receiver, Kobe Prentice. I mean, Jermaine Burton's going to do his thing, Isaiah Bond. But this is a game where that slant to Kobe Prentice or that end around with Kendrick Law could really catch Georgia. Kobe Prentice and Kendrick Law, one of those two, if not both, have a real shot in this game to be the wrinkle to catch Georgia off.
And if they go with 4 and 5 wides and spread that defense out, it'll be even more effective. Georgia, that's what they want. They want you to try to play in the box and play big boy football with them. No, don't do it.
Real quick, Gavin Kane gave us $1.99. They proved tonight our playoff chances are done. No, we got as long as we handle our business Saturday.
Will be in the playoff. I can bet you. I bet you everything I own on that.
Steve, you alluded to a little bit of the defensive struggles, or the secondary. Really, look at what Missouri did with Luther Burden and Theo Weiss. Those are two guys that were able to do what they wanted to do. They were comfortable and at home doing their thing. You just mentioned some guys that can really take off against them. And then add Jermaine Burton, who's hungry and he's pissed off for greatness. And he has a little something for Georgia. What do you think about that? Stephen M. Smith.
You know what? And you look at Burton, and this is a guy that spent 2 years at Georgia, won a national championship there in 2021, and now he's become the full route runner that we know he is. He's coming to this game with a lot of emotion. Now, of course, he's going to channel that to positivity and making plays out there on the field. But I think the growth of Bond with Burton, and then, like I said, Kobe Prentice and Kendrick Law, all 4 of those guys can be something in this game. All 4 of them. And then, not to mention, Bama only targets Amari Niblack 5 times a game. People talk about the mismatch Brock Bowers is. Niblack is just a bunch of a mismatch for Alabama. It's Tommy Reese. What will you call to get 84 involved?
I agree with you, especially when it comes to Burton. Here's why. Burton has grown up and he's really improved a lot mentally because Steve Brown, you saw he got punched at the end of that Auburn game.
And didn't do nothing.
4 or 5 weeks ago, they'd have been tussling on the field and he would have probably been suspended for the first half of this game, if not for the game. So that was big of him not to take the bait when he got punched.
Right.
Been out there. We'd have been rumbling.
Right. So that's that. And then I kind of want to flip this defensively because I was hearing Kirby Smart in Sunday's press conference, and he was talking about, well, how they're going to stop Dallas Turner. How are you going to stop Dallas Turner? And he talked about Dallas Turner. Chris Braswell is about to rock somebody's world. Because the job that Dallas has done, CB on his side, he's got 8 sacks too. He's got 10.5 tackles for loss too. He's got 3 forced fumbles too. And then you look at the growth of Justin Aboigbe, who's got 6 sacks on the year also. Like, so much attention is going to Dallas, and Dallas is that dude. But Chris Braswell is like, okay, I'm going to knock your clock off now. I mean, this is going to be a football game.
It's going to be a football game. Bo, where do you see the weaknesses, man? What do you see? And you've heard all these guys throw up what their thoughts were.
Just by watching the Missouri game, I think that we can beat them with a little bit of everything. I don't think that we should do one single thing. I think that we should do a little bit of everything, a little bit of outside zone, a little bit of inside, because I think if you start to lean on them, I think because Georgia haven't been leaned on yet. I think that in the second half, when you start to lean on them, I think that's when your explosive plays start coming. That's when you start getting the 60-yard run that everybody been looking for, that they want to happen on the first play of the game. But really now to start out with 2-3 yard, that's when you wear the defense down. And then the second half is when you really catch the 60-yard runs. And I think that's something that we're going to be able to do. Like I said before, they don't know who to prepare for in the backfield, and that's my take.
Absolutely. Well, before we get to the predictions and players of the game, we got a very important segment to kind of be the cherry on the top of the ice cream sundae, and that's the depth chart with Stephen M. Smith.
All right, so I know there's a lot of people in the chat asking the question, where is Darian Dalcourt? I'll answer that right now. He got benched for Jaden Roberts. That's what Dalcourt is. He on the bench eating ice cream, and Jaden Roberts is out there playing because Jaden Roberts has shown you he's the better option at left guard. So that answers that question right there. So in terms of other things on the depth chart, I mentioned Jace McClellan day-to-day after tweaking foot injury against Auburn. He'll try to play. He'll push this through this week of practice, but keep your eyes more so on Jam Miller, Roydell Williams as your 1-2 punch if Jace cannot go, with Justice Haynes sprinkled in there as well, getting his shot against Georgia. Another thing here in the depth chart, definitely keep your eyes on Caleb Downs. This is going to be a big game for him because, as Marvin mentioned, you may need to use him to help out there where Brock Bowers is concerned. And then for me, I know Deontay Lawson wasn't fully 100% against Auburn, still dealing with that ankle. Hopefully he's 100% this week. But I would like to see more Jihad Campbell, Kendrick Blackshire this week for this game against Georgia. Kendrick Blackshire in terms of the run game, because he will stick his nose and bam, take somebody out. I want to see Kendrick Blackshire from that perspective. But then I want to see Jihad Campbell from that just SEC speed, get after you perspective, because I like Tresman Marshall, but let's be honest, he's a bit slow. He's a bit slow. He does not have that pure SEC speed that you need to have in this type of a football game. So I would like to see more Jihad Campbell, more Kendrick Blackshire this week, especially with D-Law. You're wondering, is the ankle really, really good? If it's not, don't put him out there. Let's go Campbell, Blackshire, roll with that.
Absolutely. Hey, we got some super chats. They like what you're saying. The Inquisitive Prince, $5. Hugh Freeze put up 219 on Georgia. Also hit Brock like Earl Thomas hit Gronk every opportunity. Absolutely. And then we got Wookie Gremlin for $2. Milroe hit that guy like, excuse you. And Gavin Kane at $1.99. I don't know, Marvin. I don't see it. They put OSU ahead of us. And Kelly Weathersby with, if this will cooperate, with Bama still at number 8, could make Georgia look bad losing to us. However, it's a shame that the College Football Playoff Committee is hesitant to consistently follow their own metrics. Amen to that. The Inquisitive Prince, UGA is beatable. Bill O'Brien schemed it twice. Wow.
Listen, as long as we win, we're in. Our only loss is to Texas, who's currently the number 7 team. My God. Okay. One loss to number 7. If we win, we'll get in. Don't worry.
That's the biggest win of the year for anybody if we beat Georgia. How could you ignore that?
Right.
That trumps everybody's strength of schedule. No one else has a win against the number one team in the country, so you can't.
That hasn't lost in like 30 plus tries.
Exactly. Ray Parham, $5. Jet sweeps will make them susceptible early on, which will confuse their linebackers. Lassiter will get challenged by Burton and Bond because he gambles.
Jet sweeps once again. Kendrick Law. Put that brother in motion. Have him in the backfield. Little eye candy, Kendrick Law. Him and Kobe Prentice. Game right here.
I think the biggest thing for us, we just got to play Bama ball. We can't make mistakes. How Georgia wins their games, they make a living off of others' mistakes. They're very efficient. They are highly in just about every category on the offensive side of the ball, especially on third down conversion. Don't give them any freebies. Play Bama ball. Go in there, handle business. Speaking of handling business, it is time for the predictions and players of the game. I know everybody in the chat is getting ready for that. Y'all throw your scores our way too. We're going to start out with Stephen Smith and go to Bo, Marvin, and Steve Brown. Give me your predictions and players of the game.
Man, when I tell you I've been wrestling with this one, I have been wrestling with this one, but I finally got it. I'm going to go Bama 38-28. So Bama 38-28 there. My player of the game, I'm going to start defense first. I got Chris Braswell. CB is going to have a game. Everyone's talking Dallas Turner, but Chris Braswell is about to have a game. So I got him at defensive player of the game. Offensive player of the game, I am going to go with Jam Miller. I think Jam.
You took my guy.
I am going to go with Jam Miller. I think Jam catching the ball, but I think Jam for blitz protection. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to run the football, but there will be two plays where Jalen Milroe is going to get a blitz to him, and Jam's going to get in there, stick him, and give Milroe that extra second or two. I think Jam blitz protection is going to be a big thing for him in this game.
Okay, Bo.
I'm gonna go 34-27. And for my player of the game on defense, I don't know who I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Terrion Arnold because that's a guy. I done started seeing how he done start playing each week in and out. He remind me of Jalen Ramsey, a guy that speaks and then he back up what he talks about. He bags because he told everybody what Coach Saban, how to take Coach Saban coaching, and he took it and he went right out there on the field and he executed. And guess what? Each week that guy is starting to get better and better. And what he said is all about having, when playing corner, it's all about having confidence. And you got to have confidence playing on that line. And he reminded me of Jalen Ramsey with the attitude that he have. So I'm going to go with him. And the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to go with Jan Miller. Steven took my guy because I think that this is a guy that they is not preparing for, and he's going to come out the woodwork, and he's going to be getting chunk yards, and he's going to be running the ball downhill efficiently and consistently with his pass low and running some guys over.
Okay, I like that. Marvin.
I'm going to go 27-20. My player of the game, I got to go with my boy, QB Killer himself. Listen, man, I think you're going to see Dallas play the best game of his career. And again, it starts with that two-gapper doing what the hell they're supposed to do so that Dallas does find himself in one-on-ones with that tackle and not being chipped. Because the more he's one-on-one, the more effective he's going to be. But again, that starts with the interior defensive line. So I'm going to go 27-20. Dallas Turner player of the game. And honestly, I don't think the score will be a true indicator of how we're going to dominate their ass.
Oh, man, I like that. Steve, what you got?
I got a score of being 31-17. 31-17 on defense. I got to go with my guy. What's his name? The DB, Terrion Arnold. That's my guy. He plays hard every time. Every game, he seems to get a pick or he's around the ball. He makes plays happen. He plays super hard. And of course, I got to go with the leader on defense, Malachi Moore. Those have been my two guys all year. On offense, I'm going to go Kendrick Law, and I got three. I'm sorry. I know we should have one or two. It's got to be Kendrick Law, Jalen Milroe, and the running back. What's his name? Y'all just talked about it.
Jam
Miller.
Jam Miller. Got to go Jam. No. I'm going Roydell. Roydell runs hard.
Oh man, dude.
I got to go with Roydell. I'm sorry. I got to go with Roydell. Roydell run hard.
Man, I thought it was going to be original. For me, I'm going to go 31-27 Alabama. Player of the game, offensively, I'm going to go with the guy no one mentioned. That's because he still has the bitter taste of 2021 in his mouth. And that's our center, Seth McLaughlin. I think that he has been holding on to that for a while. He's drawn a lot of criticism this year. A lot of people still unfairly riding him for what we talked about earlier. It's time for that get back. Defensive side of the ball, I'm going to mirror what Marvin said for the same reason. He's still pissed off because of 2021. It's time for a little bit of get back. That's where I stand. All right, guys, I like what I'm hearing. And so far, we got Alabama doing their thing, getting to that playoff and winning another national champion. Before we go around the room to do our closing ceremony, Oliver Bacon has $4.99 for us. Hey, Stephen, make sure the mic stays on the next show. Laugh out loud. I'm going 2021 SEC game score prediction 42-24. Okay.
Man, I took the mic off one time and people getting crazy about the mic coming off one time.
Get it together, sir. Anyway, all right. It's come to that time where we close up. I know everybody's having fun, but hey, you can get us next week when we celebrate. Let's do, as we always do, start with Marvin Constant. Tell people about 40 Plus Strong, where they can find you on social media. Then we'll go to Steve Brown, Bo, and Stephen M. Smith.
Hey, sorry, my voice still a little rough, but you can follow me on Instagram, Constant45. That's where I am. Anything you want to know about me, it's all Instagram, or you can just message me. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. Steve Brown.
My throat hurt, man.
You can follow me on Instagram, Comic Steve Brown, one word, Comic Steve Brown. Also, you could hit me on Facebook, my Comedian Steve Brown fan page. And I'm working every night in Atlanta, starting tonight after the show. So, hey, man.
Panhandling don't count as work. My bad.
Man, why you put my business in the street? That's it for me, guys.
Bo, you got a lot of things going on. Talk to the fans. How can they find you? Are there any more shirts left that you talked about earlier?
Yeah, I think there's about 15 shirts left. You can follow me on Instagram and all social media, Bo Scarborough. I will be in Birmingham on the 11th for the media tour for like last year with the USFL, and still have Cameo. And make sure you go on the website and start getting your winter gear.
I like it. Stephen M. Smith, I know you got a pretty busy week, and you headed to Atlanta?
I'll be in Atlanta early Saturday morning. Mercedes-Benz for the SEC championship game. Going to soak it all in there. But tomorrow, in my own words, we're breaking down Alabama, Georgia, trying to get everything set up here for Kirby Smart, Nick Saban. What is this, part 6? Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, part 6, and how this is going to all go down in Atlanta. I'm excited for this. I'm ready for this. And I agree with Marvin. You take care of Georgia. The committee is going to put you in the playoff. They have no choice. You beat the number one team in the country that hasn't lost in 3 years, and you take care of that. They have no choice but to put you in the playoffs, because that would get you with a better resume than anybody else that they're trying to put in.
Without doubt. Hey, folks, it doesn't stop here. We got a channel full of great programs. Matter of fact, tonight, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, The Final Whistle will be on air live with Chris James, Dan James, Matt Cadell, Ty Hayes, Lucian, and Coach Smook. Tune in for that. Tomorrow night is 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Cece Payne will be back with the Crimson Dynasty with her co-host, Coach Smook and Chris Owens. Show some love there. Then tomorrow night, the legend himself, George Teague, will be on with Teague's Take, 8:15 p.m. Central, 9:15 p.m. Eastern. And his guest, none other than yours truly, and Bo Scarborough. You want to check out the record-breaking views that we're going to set tomorrow night. Then Friday, can't watch the game without the simulation. That's Headset Talk with Coach Smoot, video game simulation of the SEC Championship. And as always, right after the game, we're right here for the Bama Standard post-game show. Before we head out, Marvin Constant has a question for the audience. And you're on mute, sir.
Sorry, man. I don't have a question. I got a statement. I'm getting a lot of text messages from a lot of people in this chat who have my personal number talking about our asses in trouble. Just know the tide is damn coming. And I want y'all to remember everything y'all texting me today, because after we laid a lowdown on Georgia ass, I'm sending the same screenshots back to y'all telling y'all we are Bama.
Oh, I thought you was getting them text messages from Bruce Mobile saying you about to be cut off.
Nah, man. All these people want to text me talking about we ain't got a shot. Georgia this and Georgia that. The tide is coming.
Hey man, get us up here for Marvin Curtis, because he about to blow up.
He's over here cutting a promo like The Rock on WWE. Well, Georgia fans, it doesn't matter what you think. Roll Tide, folks.
The tide is coming.
All right, there it is.